We're the Whas11 First Alert Storm Team, and welcome to your 2016-2017 Winter Weather Outlook. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine, here with Storm Team Meteorologists Jared Heil, Reed Yaden, Brian Shaw, and T.G. Shuck. And over the next half hour, we're going to show you first why we care about winter weather and how our snowy weather can impact the world. A little later, we'll look at the latest technology so we're ready to accurately track the rough weather. And finally, we'll reveal our winter weather forecast for 2016-2017. I was recently asking our team, why do we even care about the winter weather outlook? We all know it's going to get colder. We all know it's going to snow. So we start first by finding out why winter weather is important to you.
Ever since I was a kid, I love snow. When it's going to snow, I get excited. I'm happy. I shovel my driveway. I shovel my neighbor's driveways. It's good exercise. It's fun, and I love. Bring it on. Bring it on!
Can't get enough of it. Then can't you see? My little coat, my little park, I wear it all the time. They kid me relentlessly here at the station about it.
Well, see, I was a beach girl, so when the cold is not my thing usually, if I get to stay in, enjoy it, go out, come back in the house, I'm all good with it. But I'm more of a beach girl, I have to say.
From a very selfish standpoint, I really like watching your weather on a national scale because we love to ski. So the more snow, the better.
Personally, it's a time of the year when we have the winter weather that we are really concerned over the well-being of our employees.
When we have a severe weather event, ice or snow or whatever, you know, people in Louisville need a little more experience in driving in adverse conditions. So we have got to be super on top of keeping the roads clear, and we partner with JCPS to make sure we can get the kids to school as well.
So we know winter weather is important to everyone in Kentuckiana, and Brian, it's actually surprising to me that most of our viewers and friends on social media like and love cold and snowy winters.
Yeah, we went on Twitter, we did a poll and found out that actually half of you said that you wanted a cold and snowy winter, 49% to be exact, 35% wanted a mild winter. I think most of us would take that here in the Weather Center. 16% wanted a normal winter. So keep Louisville weird, right? Nothing normal around here. The results were similar on our Facebook poll as well.
It is kind of surprising to me. Thanks, Brian. And by the way, Brian shot the video and edited most of what you're going to see over the next half hour. We appreciate that. Now, did you know our local weather can impact the world? Reed Yaden has a look at how one of the worst winter storms did just that, right?
That's exactly right, Ben. In fact, that winter storm we're talking about was the big snow back in 1994. It caused major problems across the viewing area, but also for our local airline industry. The snowstorm proved to be that Louisville needed to be ready for anything and how it could impact around the globe.
You are looking at live pictures from the Belvedere. Kentuckiana is in the midst of a major snowstorm.
When it snows in Louisville, the effect can ripple around the world. The UPS hub located here, it quickly became apparent in 1994.
Randy Baker, Senior Meteorologist at UPS Airlines. Well, I was over in the training center teaching meteorology to pilots and other topics. So I was kind of a part-time meteorologist. Whenever there was a major storm event, I would be involved in helping the operation.
We do need to update you on the airport. Apparently, it is closed for the time being.
UPS reacted quickly.
They're working to clear the runways.
And by late '94, the company had a full-time meteorology department up and running with a staff of 3. This building is the World Operations Center for UPS. In this building, every plane is dispatched and tracked. Communication is instant from anywhere in the world. Forecast responsibility is more than just Louisville.
It's a global operation. I mean, occasionally it's Cologne, Germany that we're looking at, our European hub. But we also have hubs in Rockford, in Philadelphia, in Dallas, Anchorage, Alaska. Those all get winter weather, and so we put out alerts and forecasts for that.
I'm Buddy Sull. I'm a retired air traffic controller, and I was on duty during the blizzard of '94. The fact that nobody could get in or out of the tower, or in or out of Louisville in particular, very few of us had four-wheel drive vehicles. I actually called in and said, "Do you want me to come in?" They said, "No, can you come in tomorrow?" And I relieved people that had been on for 30 hours.
During the snow, the controller's job is more complex.
Your timing becomes more critical because the airplane has so much time from the time it de-ices its wings, because the icing adds extra weight. From the time it de-ices its wing to the time it's airborne is a very limited amount of time.
Does he miss dealing with snow?
Absolutely not. I don't even plow my own driveway anymore. I let spring take care of it.
Skip Miller, I'm the Executive Director with Louisville Regional Airport Authority. And snow is just another dirty four-letter word around the Airport Authority.
The Airport Authority is responsible for clearing 15 miles of runways and taxiways and 10 miles of roads within the airport property.
We have plow blades that are in excess of 20 foot wide, which is wider than anything on the highways would be permitted. We have snow brooms, something that you never see on a highway. Those are also upwards of 20 feet in width. We have snow blowers. We have 3 of those that can move 3,000 tons an hour of snow.
Keeping the airport open is expensive.
We've already spent $20,000 or $30,000 just treating a couple of the runways and adjacent taxiways. And the equipment we use, a snow broom will run about $500,000.
Snow removal is a major budget item.
We budget a nominal $900,000 a year for snow removal. Like last year, we didn't use $900,000. The year before that, we used about $1.3 million.
My name is Scott Gregory. I'm in charge of training and de-ice for the Louisville Worldport facility. I've been here a long time, over 30 years, and since then we've had quite a few weather events. 1994, for instance, when I think a lot of us around this area will remember the large snow that we had out here. Some of the snow piles got so high that it was above the aircraft that we had at that time.
UPS has 60 de-ice units. Look at these older models, the open bucket, quite a contrast with today's closed and heated bucket.
On any given evening, we're doing well over 100, 110 aircraft every night. Around Christmas time, we'll be doing up in the 200 aircraft range.
Up to 175 pieces of equipment are available. There are 6 snow melters. Each melter can handle 800 tons of snow per hour. In the end, it's all about the packages and the people that move them.
Keeping this property clean and making sure that our employees go home the same way they came, that they're safe, and our customers are getting their packages.
Now, people on the other side of the world would have no clue that their delivery is late because too many snowflakes landed on the ground here in Louisville.
Flakes under the clouds here can impact the world. Thank you, Reed.
It.
Now, speaking of 1994, TG, you've been forecasting the weather here in Kentucky for many years, and you remember that storm very well. Are you ready to take a trip down a snow-covered memory lane?
Absolutely, yeah, Ben. I started in the news business in 1990, 26 years ago, so I've seen some historic storms. Here's a look back. Winter weather here in Kentuckiana and the Ohio Valley can change in an instant. Growing up just down the road in Lexington, I've experienced a number of winter weather events both as a child and while forecasting on television in this region for nearly 20 years, like the brutal winters of the late 1970s.
Actually, believe it or not, the blizzard of '78. We were all home stranded here in Louisville day after day after day. And then WHAS, I know you'll chuckle at this, started playing this song called Bella Via because the closings were so long on the screen. And as kids, when you heard that music, you ran to the TV set.
There were a record 28 days below zero that winter of 76, 77, and the ice on the frozen Ohio River was 12 inches thick. January of 1978 saw several rounds of heavy snow, Arctic cold, and winds that locked down much of the Ohio Valley for the entire month. I recall wading through waist-deep snow, endless snow days, and Saturday school in the spring to make up for the lost days during those winters. Since I joined the business in 1990, there have been a number of disruptive, record-breaking winter storms that have literally brought daily life in Kentuckiana to a screeching halt.
If memory serves me correct, I'm going back to 94 when we had the record snow, and then we had the record cold.
Anytime you get out of school, it's like Christmas Day because of the snow. But in 1994, I had a black Labrador dog, and it was 16 inches of snow, and a semi-tractor trailer came driving through and made a tire path. That was the only way he could walk down the road.
The storm that tops the list for many folks is the winter storm of January 1994. Much of Kentuckiana saw significant snows, with a few areas just east of Louisville seeing more than 2 feet. Brutally cold air followed suit a couple of days later, with early morning lows some of the coldest ever recorded across central Kentucky and southern Indiana, with Shelbyville eclipsing the all-time state record low temperature of 37 degrees below zero, which still stands today. We took to our social media platforms to ask you, our viewers, which storms you remember the most. Trina Wilkins from Louisville, 1994. I was pregnant and about due. There were people having babies on the interstate. It wasn't just snow, but ice that caused major issues in late January 2009 when the combination of both snow and ice brought much of Kentuckiana to a halt. The end result was the largest statewide power outage on record in Kentucky, with more than 500,000 homes in the dark. In the Louisville metro area, more than 200,000 homes and businesses were without power, many for more than a week. Melinda Thomas from Hardinsburg, Kentucky. Ice storm. Scariest thing I've ever been through. The sounds of trees crashing to the ground and transformers blowing. In early February 1998, a number of our Kentucky counties along and north of I-64 were pounded by heavy snow. What appeared to be a classic nor'easter that would have minimal impact on the Bluegrass State ended up being a record breaker for several locations. By the time the flakes stopped falling, more than 2 feet of snow was on the ground across parts of Kentuckiana. In fact, Louisville broke its all-time snowfall storm total with 22.4 inches of snow, a record that still stands nearly 20 years later. So will this winter bring us a storm or two for the record books? Only time will tell. But just like the Postal Service, the WHAS11 First Alert Storm Team will deliver this winter when Kentuckiana needs it the most.
So obviously a lot of winter weather knowledge dumped with each and every snowstorm.
No doubt about that. Thanks, TG. Well, just ahead, we'll show you the latest technology we're using and developing to track the winter weather and help you stay ahead of the big storms.
I love winter weather. Short time. Like, I can't wait for December to have the nice white Christmas, and January, and then that's it. After that, it can clear up, and I'm ready for spring and get ready for the flowers.
Come into Captain D's, where we're making up our delicious new salmon cakes, seared to perfection in our new grilled Alaska salmon cakes meal. Also try our fish and butterfly shrimp or southern style whitefish. For full meals at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Of course, technology has changed by leaps and bounds over the last couple of decades. And our Storm Team meteorologist, Jared Heil, is not only a weather geek, he's also a computer tech geek and developing new technology here in the Weather Center.
I don't know if I would say I'm a geek, but you were right on most of that. It takes a lot of tools to fine-tune how much snow or ice we will get. And here at WHAS 11, I think we have the edge. Take a look. Radar. It's one of the most important tools we have as meteorologists. This NextRad radar, located at Fort Knox, has been updated to scan precipitation at a faster rate so we can get information to the viewers quicker. Also, with dual polarity, we can actually see the type of precipitation that's falling without having someone on the ground to tell us.
Heading into winter, we use the radar to track rain and snow in real time. That's the easy part.
Obviously, radar is very important, but arguably just as important is showing you what the radar will look like ahead of time so you can prepare for an impactful winter storm.
Let me ask you, do you believe this statement? All meteorologists have the same tools and data to share with their viewers. Maybe you're inclined to say yes.
But ask yourself this, if it were true, wouldn't we all have the same forecast? I'd like to know how many times I'm asked why we all have different forecasts during the winter especially. Let me take this opportunity to show you why all forecasts are not created equal.
Here's a crash course on forecasting a winter storm. All winter weather forecasts have the same working parts. Are we expecting rain, snow, sleet, freezing rain, or a mix of them all? And most importantly, when and how will it impact you? We look at forecast models, several forecast models, to give us an idea of what to expect. You may have even heard of a few: GFS, Euro, NAM. They all have their strengths.
But here's a dirty little secret for you. Out of the box, no station can show you these forecast models in high resolution.
Here at WHAS 11, I've been working to develop forecast models that we can bring to you live at 3 to 8 times the resolution of our competitors. It's a trick that took hundreds of hours dedicated to coding these models so you can see them during our most impactful winter storms. Perhaps more importantly, these models have way more information that will help you plan ahead.
You have probably heard of the term wintry mix. What does that even mean? Is it snow and rain, sleet and snow? Does it include freezing rain, ice? That's the worst. These are distinctions that make a difference, right? When we forecast winter storms, the models can tell us where all of these different types of precipitation can fall, and that's what we want to show you. Here's the solution. When major winter weather threatens the Ohio Valley, we at WHAS11 can switch out the standard snow is blue, rain is green, pink is a mix maps with our new Futurecast with exclusive model data. See the difference? We're showing you exactly what type of precipitation you can expect. Rain, sleet, ice, or even snow, and we're doing it at the highest resolution in the marketplace. You're seeing the data unfiltered just like we are here at WHAS11. And on WHAS11.com, we're leading the way as well. We're giving you all of the fine details of the forecast that you just can't get anywhere else. Not only did we develop this to show you the most accurate Futurecast data, we use it ourselves to forecast the timing, accumulations, and impacts these storms will have right here in Kentuckiana. There's a reason you see the banner at the bottom of your screen during all of our weathercasts. You don't just get the certified forecast for most accuracy by doing what everyone else does. We are making a difference that you can see every day, and we will help keep you a step ahead of the weather.
Thanks, Jared. It can be exciting when that first winter weather data starts coming in, but a challenge as well. We'll have a look at the winter weather forecast just ahead. Stay tuned.
You love, hate winter? I like the cold better than the summer. Really? Yeah, I can put more clothes on if I get uncomfortable.
Louisville Overstock Warehouse is open this weekend only. Our entire showroom is packed. Get huge fall savings. Ashley Sectional $5.97. Serta Memory Foam Mattress Set $2.87. Go to LouisvilleOverstockWarehouse.com for more details.
Thanks for your help with my homework, Dad.
Anytime. You need to work hard and get good grades.
Yeah, but have you opened a college savings account yet?
Well,
you can with the Kentucky Education Savings Plan Trust. Any earnings are tax-free if you use the money for qualified expenses.
You've been talking to Grandpa again, haven't you?
Sure, he wants to help. But you have to open an account first, okay?
Okay.
Now, can we talk about my bedtime?
Start saving for college today. More at kysaves.com/today.
Louisville Overstock Warehouse. 2 warehouses, 4 days. Over 80,000 square feet loaded with furniture and mattress deals. Stylish Ashley Sectional with pillows, $7.97. Serta Queen Mattress, $2.99. Get the foundation free. Don't miss our big holiday sale. LouisvilleOverstockWarehouse.com.
I'm back and forth about winter. I like it that it cools off, and I'm a runner, so in the wintertime running is better because you don't get quite so hot, but it's really hard to get out of bed in the morning.
Oh, those long nights in the wintertime, part of the reason why it turns so chilly. Well, here is the science of the winter season in 2016-2017. Last year we had this strong El Nino that really influenced the weather across North America. This year we call it La Nada. It's a weak La Nina, but nada as in very weak to non-existent on how it influences the weather. So we also look at ocean temperatures and Arctic temperatures farther north across the hemisphere. We have this pocket of very warm air and water over the top of the globe that can cause blocking in the jet stream and allow cold air to dive south. Also, this little pocket of colder water has developed across the central Pacific. That can offset that and allow the jet stream to be stronger and give us some warmer spells occasionally. I think that will happen earlier in the winter season, but these Arctic intrusions will become more likely as we go deeper into winter. So temperatures for the December month, right at or just below normal. The coldest of the air diving into the Rockies and then kind of modifying and warming a little bit as it heads in our direction. Maybe not even much change on that pattern into January, but as the cold air dives in, it could be very bitter cold from time to time in one of the coldest months of the year for us. Another typically very cold month is February. This is when I do believe the pattern could change up just enough to give us some of those Arctic blasts more frequently and clipper systems that could deliver some snow as well. And speaking of that, here's Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine with the snowfall forecast.
That's right, Jared. Let's try to make our biggest snow fanatic, Doug Profit, happy with that 2016-2017 snowfall prediction here. The average amount of snowfall for December and January is 6.3 inches. We're putting the 2 months together because we usually don't get too much snowfall in December. We average about 2 inches. Last winter, for some perspective, we had over 8 inches of snow, a bit above average for December and January. The forecast this time around, coming up for this month and next month, is near normal amounts. And we usually get a little bit more rain than snow through those 2 months as well. Going into February, this is typically when we can get our biggest snowfall. We average 4.5 inches. The forecast for this time around is above normal. As Jared mentioned, we might get some cold air intrusions, and it might be an active jet stream from the south into the north. It might be a little bit busier, and this is our best chance of a bigger snow. So our forecast is above normal snowfall for the month of February, and those snow chances could linger into early March, which we've seen the last several years as well. Here's the total winter snowfall forecast. Normal amount of snow in the winter season, about 12.5 inches. Our forecast this time around is 12 to 18 inches of snow. So that is a decent amount. It's at or just above normal for a winter season. But keep in mind, one big storm or ice storm can change these totals greatly. We saw last year just a part of our viewing area picked up about 12 to 18 inches of snow. So that could change things greatly around our area. But the forecast for the entire winter season at this point, 12 to 18 inches of snow at or above normal. Now let's look at that white Christmas chance. Normal chance of a white Christmas is just 10% chance. This time around, coming up later this month, we'll call it an above average chance of a white Christmas because we are expecting to turn into a more active pattern and starting to get some colder spells to arrive as well.
So in summary, a cold, hardy winter, but maybe not even as cold as it was a couple or 3 years ago.
No matter what, we'll make it through it. Have a fun and safe time this winter. We'll certainly be here to help you through anything Old Man Winter decides to throw at us. And on behalf of our WHS 11 news team, our First Alert Storm team, thanks for watching and take care.